for Ziel-Nelson Staining for the detection of acid bacilli under the microscope. So you need 3 main stains, 2 stains and a counter stain. So the primary stain is the carbofusion, then the counter stain is methylene blue, and the decolorizer is 20% sulfuric acid. So right now I'm filling stains. So this is a carbofusion. I fill it, that's our primary stain. Then too bad. Then I fill that of the methylene blue. And then methylene blue. Fill it. So our stains are ready for the procedure. We now gather all our slides in a rack. The rack is ready. We have our matches here. So in the staining process we need fire. So this is what we use to light our fire. So let's go to the staining area. We'll do it outside. So let's go and get the continue. Bye. Hi everyone. So we are outside here to perform our Ziel-Nelson stain. These are the things we need. We need your carbofusion, your methylene blue, and your decolorizer, 20% sulfuric acid. So our slides are well arranged here. So for the purpose of knowledge, the Ziel-Nelson staining is used to stain acid-fast bacilli. So acid-fast bacilli, for example, the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, that causes pulmonary tuberculosis and other extra pulmonary tuberculosis. We use that staining technique to detect this organism in the sputum of people who are infected. We are not using gram stain because in gram staining we are unable to attach the stain to the cell wall of the bacteria because of the protective mycolic acid it has in its cell wall. So we want to use a very crude way to get the stain to the cell wall of the bacteria. So we are using the carbofusion. In this staining technique, I'm going to apply fire or heat to ensure that the mycolic acid is broken down and it gives way for the carbofusion to penetrate so that it can stain the cell wall. I'm going to use a decolorizer, 20% decolorizer, to decolorize the background so that you can have a very good contrast. Then we stain with the methylene blue, which will furthermore gives us that background so that we can examine very well the slides. If there are acid-fast bacilli there, they will stain pink and the background will stain blue. So let's go on to the procedure. Like I mentioned, you flood your slice with your carbofusion, the primary stain. So I'm going to do that. The carbofusion, flood it. Flood it. We're going to stain that for 5 minutes. So as I apply the first one, let it on our hand. Flood. Make sure the stain gets to every part of the slide. Very nice. And while our 5 minutes is counting down, we apply our fire or heat. So this is a cotton moistened with alcohol. So fire on like this, so it's on. So you pass it underneath the slice until you see vapor coming out of the slide. You don't stop. We're going to repeat the procedure this way, so until you see vapor. So don't heat to well. So this one is producing vapor, alright, so you can stop. So this is a testament to the fact that we've been able to break the cell wall. So you see vapor coming out. So make sure all the slides have vapor, but do not boil the fire. So you put out your fire. So this is our way of putting out our fire. So we allow the 5 minutes to be up, then rinse it with water, then the process will continue. I think that's also good. So you wash from where we started. You rinse it with tap water this way. So go again until you get a clear wash. So you can now see a pink stained smear. Pink stained smear. Alright, so we're able to wash our slides very well. So let's rid of the excess water. Alright, so you can now see we have pink smears on our slice. We want to get rid of the excess pink. So we need an agent that can get rid of that for us. So we use a 20% sulfuric acid as a decolorizer. We're going to apply that for also 5 minutes. So you flood it. It's going to be on the slide for 5 minutes. Right. So our 5 minutes will start now. So unlike gum stain, where decolorizing may take 5 seconds, depending on the strength of your decolorizer anyway, in Ziel-Nelson staining, decolorizing takes as long as 5 minutes. This is basically because we are using a very strong dye, carbon fusion, which is very difficult to decolorize. And when the organism is able to pick the carbon fusion, it's very difficult for it to get rid of it. So we are decolorizing the smear so that I get a very clear background. So the decolorizing will make way for our counter stain, methylene blue. So after decolorizing, our smear should be colorless, at least to our eyes. If there is acid-fast bacilli in there, it will stain pink. 5 minutes is on. So you wash. So as you wash the decolorizer off, you can see the smears have become colorless, or they become white or plain if you want. It looks like before we started staining. That's what it looks like, right? So you get off, you get rid of the excess water. Alright, so our next stain is our counter stain. We're going to apply the counter stain for just 3 minutes. So the counter stain is going to give us the contrast we need so that we can examine the acid-fast bacilli if it's there. Because the bacilli is very tiny, it don't look tiny and pinkish. So if you don't have a background that will make you see, you cannot identify it. You can use malachite green in place of methylene blue. Any of them can serve as your counter stain. So I'm going to apply the flood As always, you flood. Alright, you flood. You make sure you avoid bubbles. So the slide is well flooded with methylene. So wait for 3 minutes. Because the counter stain, you do not need to stain it for that long. Some even advocate for a 2-minute or a 1-minute stain, right? So we can do a 3 minutes staining with a counter stain. Counter stain of the methylene blue